Trading from 0 to 250,000 coins. It might sound tricky, but in actual fact, it's very easy. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the exact methods that you should be using. But before we do get into the video, if you're looking for some cheap, fast and reliable FC24 coins so that you don't need to grind it out by trading, then there is no better place than U4GM. And at the time recording this video, we are approaching Black Friday, where if you use that link in the description down below and also code Fanatic, you'll be able to get a 15% discount. Thank you U4GM for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back into it. Trading from 0 to 250,000 coins is broken down into 6 different trading methods, although there are a few variations that you can use for each, but as a whole, 6 methods. But before we start, we need to make sure that we have coins in the account, because the only way in which we can trade is if we have coins to trade with. And when starting Ultimate Team, you're not gifted any loyalty bonuses like we were in previous years. That's fine. You can either play your very first game, or you could do what we recommend, which is going over to objectives and just doing some of the basic objectives, which will reward you with 150 coins. There should be enough which are easy for you to go through without needing to play a game, which will give you 600 coins in total. And it'll take just about a few minutes to do. Once that's done, this is what brings us to our first method. This is the bronze method. Quite simply, head over to the transfer market, select the quality to be bronze, and then search. 90% of the players that you see will not work with this method, but an easy way to separate those that don't work and those that will is to just go across each player and look for those who currently have bids on. If it has a bid, it's always a good indication that that player has been listed below the lowest by now, hence why someone's gone through and decided to bid. Once you find a player with a bid on, you're going to add them to your watch list, compare the player's price, and if that buy now is a lot higher than what that current bid is on that player, then you're going to place a bid. 9 out of 10 times you will be able to win the trade, as it is a bronze player, and then you can relist them at that price that you saw earlier, which was their lowest buy now. You may want to question whether or not it's worth doing with bronze players, because surely they don't sell. Except they do. EA is already in a position to start releasing league upgrades, and a lot of the time they require bronze players. What you will find with this method is that you can place a bid at 200 and then sell them for 400, 600, 800 coins, doubling, tripling, or quadrupling the amount of coins you started with, giving you a very good return on the time that you have to spend going through this. There's also a silver method variation for this, where you do finally build up enough coins. You can start looking at silver players to do the same thing. With silver players, this is where we start to see a bit more value. Players going for a few thousand coins each, especially if there are league upgrades that they are needed for. You're going to use both of these variations up until you get to 10 to 20,000 coins. That is where you can go to the next method, which is, of course, bulk bidding. Bulk bidding is one of the laziest methods, if not, it is the laziest method within Ultimate Team, whilst it also still being profitable. Because quite simply, all you need to do is search the transfer market and find a rare gold player that does sell. Now, you can actually use this with anyone in game. They don't need to be cheap, they could be slightly more expensive. But in this case, because we're just starting, we're going to be looking at players which are valued about 1,000 coins. 1,000 coins is what they sell for. Now, if we can get this player for 800 coins, it means that we'll be able to make 150 coins after the 5% EA tax, assuming that we do sell them at 1,000. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, except the players that we select here are going to be ones that we can continuously win, so that once we do go through and bid on as many as possible, either by using all the coins that we have or maxing out our watch list, we should be able to win at least 50% of the players that we bid on. And once we sell those, it means that we're going to be suddenly not just making a couple hundred coins, but a couple thousand coins. The hardest part with this is finding a good player to use. I normally go through a bit of trial and error as I just experiment with players that I find on the transfer market, or you can go and be a bit more strategic by using a site such as Footbin and single out rare gold players which are currently valued at 1,000 coins, and then go through the whole testing phase as you experiment with each of those players. You want a good balance here of players that you can bid on and win, whilst also giving you a good amount for you to make a decent amount of profit every hour. At the exact same time, when you have enough coins to start going into bulk bidding, if it's not really a method suited to what you want to do, you could spend a bit more time and go through sniping. Sniping will probably give you a very similar amount of profit, except now you need to be a bit more active. You need to constantly keep on searching the transfer market. Yet again, you're going to search for a player who's worth a few thousand coins to begin with, but as time goes on, you can start to increase this as you look for more expensive players. But with this, you're going to set up your parameters. You're going to find the lowest buy now for a specific player or a specific group of players, and then you're going to take a couple hundred coins away. Very similar to what we did with bulk bidding, except with bulk bidding, we set this maximum price as our maximum bid. Whereas with sniping, we're going to keep it on as a buy now. Now what we're going to do is head up to our maximum bid, set that to 15 million, hold left on our controller, and then constantly search. The reason that we do this and not just constantly press YA or triangle X, depending which platform you're using, is because we want to update the market by changing the price. If not, it's just going to search what it searched for before. And that is a complete waste of time. Every single time that you search, 90% of the time you are going to receive a message which tells you that they couldn't find anything fitting these parameters, adjust your parameters to find some players, in which you're just going to press OK and immediately search again. You do this enough, there will be times when you search at the exact moment in which someone else lists a player which fits those parameters. And because we've already done our research, we know if anything does show up below this buy now that we've already set, that it will be a player that we can sell for profit. So you need to be quick and you need to buy them. Once you bought them, you list them back onto the transfer market and go again. You want to make sure that you're doing this whenever you're playing Ultimate Team. But this is where things get a bit more entertaining, because at this point, these methods could take you all the way up to 100,000 coins relatively quickly. And it's at that point in which you want to start building your club. I highly recommend that you start investing. There are loads of different ways to invest within Ultimate Team. Some of them require you to be a bit more knowledgeable in terms of gameplay and the content that EA will release. We're talking about FC24 leagues. But this will only apply to a small percentage of people. Most want to be a bit more passive with it, where it doesn't take as much time. And if that is you, then you cannot go wrong with special card investing. You could do this twice per week. This is with Team of the Week and whatever promo EA releases on Friday. With both of these, whatever they do release is only available within packs for that week until it rolls around to the following week, where a new Team of the Week is released or a new promo is released. When that happens, whatever was part of those previous teams have been taken out of packs, meaning that at that exact moment, the highest number of players available will be at that exact second. From there, as there's no source for them, and also it's likely people that have these players gradually will not be interested in Ultimate Team where they start playing, or they're going to submit them as part of SBCs. So the supply becomes extremely rare. An easy way to capitalize on this is to buy one of each player that you can afford, looking at the cheaper ones, valued anywhere between 10 to 25,000 coins, putting a bit more priority on those who are higher rated and also in the top 5 major leagues: Premier League, Serie A, Liga, La Liga, and also Bundesliga. Buy one of each, store them to your club and forget about them. They will not shoot up in value immediately, but as time goes on, they will increase because they always do. We've already been doing this quite a bit on the channel and we've already made a very good amount of profit doing this. We'll continue to use this method throughout the whole of FC24 to go and make millions. Another method that's also worth using at this price point is the bronze pack method. The bronze pack method is not going to make you rich, but it's still a very good method to use as a club builder. Quite simply, head over to the store, go down to your classic packs, open a 750 coin bronze pack, and in there you're going to get a variety of different items. You'll get players, staff, consumables, and club items. When going through this, compare the price of each and every single player. For those who do sell, you're going to list onto the transfer market. Those players will give you back the coins that you spent on the pack, and in some cases will put you in profit. More often than not, if you were to open 10, 20, potentially even more, maybe a couple hundred of these bronze packs, you will be able to profit over the long run. Not guaranteed for every individual pack itself though. With the players that don't sell, you're not going to just get rid of them, you're going to store them to your club because you can use them for SBCs. either by throwing them into the bronze upgrade, which will eventually give you silver players, and those silver players can then be used for the silver upgrade to then go to your common gold players, common gold to then into the gold upgrade. Or you can mix and match them. We said earlier that bronze players have value because of league upgrades. You could use some of these bronze players within league upgrades, marquee matchups, and any other type of SBC that EA releases. And what ends up happening, you're either going to break even or be in profit with the bronze packs that you open and with the players that you can sell on. And with every other player, you're able to build your club so that you have everything that you need for any type of SBC, and also eventually build to players that you can use within your main team. It's not going to be an overnight success and make you millions, but it's a very good method to be constantly using. And finally, the method that is there to really take you up to 250,000 coins is the 1-2-3 method. The cool thing about this is by itself, it is a method that you can use from the moment you start an Ultimate Team all the way up to earning millions. Not 250k, millions. That's because the 1-2-3 method isn't a set strategy, it's broken down into a variety of different bidding parameters. You can set it to be 1,000 coins bid, 2,000 coins maximum bid, and 3,000 coins minimum buy now. You can set it to be 10,000 coins minimum bid, 20,000 coins maximum bid, and 30,000 coins minimum buy now. Or you could take it to the extreme to be 100k, 200k, 300k, or the ultimate extreme to 1 million, 2 million, and then 3 million. What this does is find players within those price points that we just talked about, but has a higher buy now than that final number. 3,000, 30,000, 300,000, or 3 million, depending which parameter you're using. It's great for you to separate the potentially good deals from all those which are bad. We want to avoid those which are bad. And very similar to what we said within our very first method, as you're going through this, you want to find those who already have bids on, because it's a good indicator that they're listed below the lowest buy now. Except we can't compare prices. These players are way too common and there's going to be hundreds of pages to go through. So that's when you need to go and use a tool such as Footbin. Footbin is a player database, and even though it doesn't have every single's exact price point at every given second, it's pretty close. So the second that you come across a player with a bid on, you're going to type that player's name into Footbin and then make a choice. Is there enough room for you to bid on this player and then list them at that price and still make profit after the 5% EA tax? In which it's a simple answer, either yes, in which you're going to place a bid, or it's a no, where you're going to move on and find someone different. In combination of all the methods that we've gone through, using that bronze and silver method to kickstart your journey, and then going through the variety of other methods, being bulk bidding, sniping, investing into special cards, bronze pack method, and the 1-2-3 method, you can easily reach 250,000 coins and beyond. These are actually the exact methods that you can use to build up to 500,000 and even a million. If you enjoyed this video, then I highly recommend clicking the next video on screen. That one has been specifically recommended just for you. No one else is getting it. So whatever it is, I hope you enjoy.